Hi, it's Alaska Granny. We've gone through months and months of this coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic. We've had stay-at-home orders, businesses are closed, restaurants are out of business, no one's going to school. It's been a very few hard months for most Americans and for a lot of people all over the world. Well, they're telling us there's going to be a second wave. We're going to have further shutdowns. Maybe they're going to reset a lot of the things that have happened before, and what are we supposed to do? It's all about time. You have time to prepare before the next wave of this crisis is upon us. You can decide, what do you need to have to be prepared to sustain yourself for at least 2 weeks? You want to prepare rather than be scared, so that you know what you have and what you need to do to take care of yourself, make the best of whatever situation we end up facing. So I have a list of do's and don'ts to help us get through the next wave of the COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic, or the second wave. The first do is make sure that you do have a full pantry of canned foods, packaged foods. Maybe fill your fridge and freezer. Make sure that you have enough foods that you could sustain yourself and your family for at least 2 weeks. Several weeks, a month, even several months is better. The more food that you can have on hand in your stockpile, the better off you're going to be in a lot of different emergency situations besides just the COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic. Don't buy any food that you're not willing to eat. It doesn't make sense to spend your money and waste your pantry space on foods that nobody likes or wants to eat. So choose foods that you know how to cook, that you know your family will eat, and use them. Do buy a wide variety of foods that you can have for your food stockpile. Don't overbuy on fresh fruits, vegetables, bread, and milk, foods that are going to spoil and don't have the shelf life and can't last for an extended period of time. Do plan for snacks and treats. We all need breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks, and a few treats can help keep the morale up, especially if you have children in your home. Do stock up on over-the-counter medicines, all of the different remedies that you might want for a headache, a stomach ache, a cold, a runny nose, allergy. All of those types of remedies are great to keep on hand. Don't forget about your prescription medication. Know where your supply is. Check with your pharmacist what's the first date you are allowed to refill that prescription, and refill it as soon as you can rather than waiting until you're out and you need that medication. Do have a well-stocked first aid kit. Go over it, make sure nothing has been raided and everything is in fine working order, and take this time to review first aid techniques so that you know what to do in an emergency situation. Don't forget to stock up on paper products. Toilet paper, paper towels, paper plates, napkins, Kleenex, wet wipes. If you have babies, make sure you have enough diapers. If you're a female and you need them, stock up on feminine hygiene products. Do store water. At a minimum, have 1 gallon per person per day for as many days as possible. You can buy water in already filled containers. You can refill clean containers you have in your home, but make sure they're food grade and they've never held chemicals. Every drop of water isn't going to be just for drinking. You'll also need some for cooking food, sanitation, and hygiene. So plan on extra water for those purposes. Don't forget about power outages. Those come along all times of the year, whether there's a pandemic or not. You want to have flashlights, extra batteries, maybe some solar chargers, or the little battery banks for recharging your electronics. Maybe you'll want some candles with matches or lighters, and even oil lamps or battery lanterns. Make sure you have something to have light in your home in a power outage. Do remember to have something like a camp stove, an emergency way that you can heat food should you not be able to due to a power outage. You can get something as simple as a butane stove if you don't have a camping stove, or a barbecue, because they're safe to use in your home. They're only about $20 to purchase a butane stove, and make sure you get extra canisters of the fuel. Do remember your vices. Maybe you like to smoke, Maybe you like to drink alcohol. Maybe you like your special coffees. Figure out what your vices are. Even if it's chocolate, make sure that you have a way to have some of that on hand so that you don't have a hard time in a quarantine or a pandemic or emergency situation. Do what you can to make sure that you provide shelter no matter what comes along. We've just had hurricanes in the southern states. We've had massive forest fires in the western states. There have been floods in the Midwest. We just don't know what could happen. Do plan to provide shelter in your home, but also think of a plan if you had to leave your home. Do you have a place you could go? To a friend's house? To a secondary location? Do you have a tent or even an emergency shelter? Do you have a way you could sleep in your car? There are a lot of reasons we might have to leave our home. It would never be our first choice, but if we have to do it, we have to have a plan so that we know what to do, where to go, and what are the supplies that we might need. We never know if we might have to evacuate because of a coming threat. We don't even know if our home might be destroyed. And for many people across America, becoming homeless is a real threat because they don't have the funds to provide the shelter that they need. Don't be embarrassed to reach out and seek help if you need it. There are all kinds of agencies that are there to help you, but you need to be proactive. Do what you can before you have an emergency so that you don't at the last minute don't have a plan or any idea of what you can do. There's always going to be some solution to your problem. Some of them may not be solutions that we want, but it's something we can get through, and after time, things can get back to normal. They can be looking better. We can provide the things that we need again. But we have hard times coming. We want to be prepared. And if nothing happens and we don't have any kind of a struggle, look around you and see if there's someone you care about that is facing some struggles, and see if there's a way that you can help ease their burden if it seems like it's too much for them at this time. There are a lot of people struggling. We don't want that to happen to the people that we care about. So be aware that others are having a hard time. And if it's you, don't be afraid to speak up and tell people that care about you. There's nothing that happens that we can't get through that isn't going to be better on the other side. Do what you can to prepare, to secure the best future for yourself, to protect yourself and your family, and be ready to face whatever comes your way. If you liked my video, I hope you'll share it with someone else who might enjoy it. Learn more at alaskagranny.com, and please subscribe to the Alaska Granny channel.